Today we are doing a Q&A. First off, I just want to start off with a bunch of questions that I know I get a lot and that I just get on a lot of videos, so I want to answer those first. And then afterwards, I'll answer some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. I just made a little bit of a post and asked you guys to ask me some questions, and I think I already got 5 or 6 comments. So I'll answer those ones at the end of the video. So the question that I probably get the most is, what is my bike? What's the brand? What are the components that it has? How much did I pay for it? How did I get it? Blah blah blah. I actually did make a video like completely on this bike, dedicated to it, so I'll link that up here. But just to quickly answer, it's a Marinoni Rewind. It's a TT bike. That's what I use for my races. It has Dura-Ace, everything except the front and rear derailleurs. So the shifters, the cranks, the brakes are all Dura-Ace. And then the wheels, which seem to be getting a lot of attention, are Easton Attack TT EC90s, I believe. Anyways, they're 90mm deep dish rims made by Easton. They're tubular wheels. So there you go, that's my bike. Now, a lot of people who might not follow the channel very closely ask me who I train with or what is my training like. So if you guys know, I train with a team called Winburn Multisport Academy is what it's called. Basically just a team of a lot of younger athletes, kind of like me. We're starting to get a few older ones too, but it's just a lot of fun, a lot of good people. We train basically every day of the week except Fridays, and Sundays we're supposed to do long runs on our own. But basically Monday, Wednesday is swim and bike, but actually the bike is first. And then Tuesday, Thursday is track and weights or core. And on Saturdays we swim, and then we also do Pilates after that. And then usually I try to get my long run in on Saturdays before the practice, so then I kind of have 2 free days. So I have like Sunday and Friday that I can, you know, take a bit more rest and do some homework, whatever, get caught up on school. Another thing that I get a lot is how old I am. I actually just turned 19, so basically most of my videos I was 18 and just turned 19 now. So kind of probably one of the younger triathletes who are on YouTube right now, but having a lot of fun. And I think it's cool. Still in school, so that kind of affects the schedule of videos and stuff. So it makes it a little bit harder, but I work around it, and I'm still having a lot of fun making the videos for you guys. One of the more common questions that I get is, what kind of cameras do I use? Since I do a lot of stuff that, you know, underwater video on the bike, kind of like on your head, that type of stuff. So basically I have a GoPro Hero Session as my main camera for going to training, for doing kind of more risky things that I wouldn't use my big camera for. And then the one I'm shooting on right now that I do all the videos that are like in my basement or just like kind of trivia videos. And usually for parts of the vlog, I will also use this camera, and it is a Canon T5i. So pretty good camera. And then I also have a wide angle lens, and I just have a regular lens. Nothing too fancy. I also have a shotgun mic that was the cheapest one on Amazon. So not super intense with the cameras, but Canon T5i and a GoPro Hero 4 Session. Now, another really common question that I'll get a lot in either comments or just emails or whatever way they come in contact, people ask me what I think of a certain bike, or what kind of bike should they buy for their certain sport or whatever situation they're looking for. So what I have to say about this question is that there's so many different bikes out there. There's so many different models, so many different ranges, so many different ways that you can build up a bike, that it's kind of hard for just me to answer a question like, is this bike good or bad for whatever you want to use it for. Usually if someone asks me this question, I actually have to go do a little bit of research and look up what this bike is all about, what are the components. So what I would say if you're gonna ask this question is, first off, do a little bit more research, maybe take a look at a whole bunch of different bikes that are in your price range or that are have the specific use that you want to use your bike for. Do some research, look at reviews, look at the components. That way you're gonna learn more about your bike and you're gonna make a more informed decision, instead of just sending me a link to a certain bike or just ask me about a certain bike model and then I can say yes or no. Not that I don't mind answering them, I love to see what you guys are interested in, but I might not always be the most reliable person to ask, since I obviously can't know every single model of bike and if they're good or bad. So now I'll move on to some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. I definitely saw some good ones, so let's go to the Instagram app. So first off, we have Irene is vegan, asked me, what do you like the most, running, swimming, or biking in a triathlon, and what am I studying? So for the first question, I would probably say definitely not the swim. I'm not sure between biking and running, since I love bikes, I love building my own bikes, and I love going fast on bikes. So I'd say that's probably one of my favorite, but the run is probably my best sport, since I usually manage to catch people on the run. So I really do like the run, because that's usually when I end up passing people a lot. I usually kind of stay the same on the bike, and I'll usually get passed a lot in the swim. So I'd say the run is probably my favorite. Now for what am I studying? I am currently just in my first year of university. I'm studying kinesiology, which is the study of like human movement, human health, that type of stuff. So basically going into sports, I'm really interested in going into doing a bachelor's of kinesiology, which would allow me to do research in the field of physical activity, potentially maybe doing some coaching or something like that. I'm not 100% sure where I want to go, but I definitely know this is the direction I want to go into. Next question from TrackZikala. What are your triathlon goals for life? Do you want to try an Ironman or maybe meet someone famous? I would say for meeting someone famous, I've already met Simon Whitfield, talked to him for a little bit, and he is definitely an awesome guy. That was definitely probably the person I wanted to meet the most. Of course, it'd be awesome to meet other like famous Ironman guys like Jan Frodeno, all those guys. It'd be awesome to talk to them. And for the first part of the questions, what are my triathlon goals for life? Well, as I've kind of mentioned in my previous videos, I want to try a half Ironman this year, which, if you can kind of see where this is going, I'm going to longer and longer distances. Started at sprint, doing Olympic, half Ironman. So definitely a goal for me would be to do a full Ironman, maybe start racing full Ironmans all the time, or maybe just half Ironman, depending on how I like the different distances. I know half Ironmans are already like pretty long, like passing 4 hours, and full Ironmans are very long. I'm not sure how much I'm really gonna like that. I obviously haven't tried it out yet, but I definitely am very open to trying different races. Of course, I want to try an Xterra too, so I want to try a whole bunch of different triathlon races, and we'll see where it goes. Guess Shep asked, what would you ask a new coach? Looks like he's meeting a new coach and is not really sure what to ask. So obviously I don't have like a personal trainer. I've never really been in a situation where I was meeting a coach for the first time. I just kind of joined the team when I was a lot younger. But what I would recommend is just asking, making sure that their schedule and their type of training matches up with what you want. Make sure that it'll fit into your lifestyle. Make sure the plan is hard enough, or make sure that it's not too easy. Make sure that it'll help you meet your goals. So I guess ask them what kind of training, maybe have them make a little example of what a certain week of training would be like, and just to see if that would fit well within your schedule and help you reach your goals. That's basically all I can think of for that. Sorry if that's not the best answer. EMXCT asked, what do you eat? What's your nutrition plan? And Eldorado Swimmer also asked, what are some good post-workout foods? So I'll put those two together because I can see that this video is getting pretty long. So I don't really have a specific nutrition plan that I follow every day. I just kind of go along, eat what works well. But just for an example, say like for dinner I would have pasta, or I would have tacos. Usually pretty high carb foods. Other than that, fruits are definitely a go-to when I go to school and I know I'm going to be doing a swim during the day. I bring a lot of fruits. Bananas, apples are definitely top of the list there. I also like to bring like granola bars if we have them, cookies, muffins, a lot of like snacky types foods that I can eat here and there as I'm going to the pool or as I'm eating. After practices, I like to bring the Cliff protein bars, I think they're called. I'm not exactly sure. I'll show you a picture right now so you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I usually buy like big boxes of that and bring one at the end of every practice, because that's good for recovery. Another thing, I just eat fruits after workouts. One thing that I like to snack on a lot when I get home is just to have like assorted nuts, like almonds, peanuts, like walnuts, cashews, like some sort of mix from like Costco. That's really good to have after a workout. That's about it. I also eat like dried mangoes from Costco, a lot of Costco stuff. I'm sorry this is not very specific, but that's kind of what I eat. I'm not super picky about the foods that I have. Another really good one though is smoothies. I just remembered I don't eat them or drink them or whatever as often as I should. We have like a really good smoothie maker, but I'm often just too lazy to make it. So that would be a really good one if I wasn't so lazy. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Hope I answered some of your more burning questions. Thanks for commenting on the Instagram and leaving questions on all my other videos. If you guys want to have any other questions you didn't have time to ask before I filmed this, be sure to ask them down below in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them in maybe another Q&A. So let me know if you guys like this video down below. Leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. You know what to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Never stop trying.